Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Natasha May. This is a twin flame reading for Divine Feminine for the week of 24th of February to 1st of March 2020. It is not gender specific, so please take it as it resonates for you and your connection. I will be saying she for Divine Feminine just to keep the readings easy, but you could very well be the male. I'm referring to the energies and not to the gender. In this reading, I will be covering mental spice, heart spice, and desires for divine feminine in regards to a twin flame journey, divine masculine, and the union. I will do extended version, so check the description box below for information on that, where I'll take a deeper look into this one. I will also take a look at actions that divine feminine is taking, as well as give some guidance from source in regards to actions that needs to be taken. There's also other services available, private readings, healing sessions, and meditations, as well as some new packages. So check the description box for any kind of needs and help you need from me, guys and girls. And please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons for me to keep my channel going and growing. And let's see what's happening for Divine Feminine. Okay, Divine Feminine. Just before I go into the cards, I channel the energies. I do not read them, so I will give you what I see, feel, and hear, and know instinctively. This is a collective reading, but sometimes there are very specific messages coming through for very specific people. So let's see what's coming out. Before I start, I just want to say the overall energy here for Divine Feminine is a very big shift in consciousness in regards to a journey and spirituality, as well as a big crossroad she's facing right now. Okay, but let's take a look. I'm using 3 decks, Bonfire Tarot, Romance Angels, as well as magical messages from the fairies. First card that came out was the Chariot. Now the Chariot is about movement, so it could involve travel, but it's mostly about moving, being pulled forward. This to me is usually divine intervention, because if you just think about a chariot, the chariot pulls you. You don't you steer it, but it pulls you at the end of the day, and that gets very nicely pointed out here with the dogs. This is a twin flame card, obviously, with the white dog and the black dog over there, and a lot of spirituality in this card as well. With your root chakra there in the form of a rose, that is your physical, as well as that symbol that's the spiritual. So this is definitely a twin flame card. But what the dogs point out there is that if you think about dogs, if you take your dog for a walk, who's pulling who at the end of the day, or who is deciding upon the journey? Are you steering your dog, or are your dog pulling you to wherever it wants you to go? And this is very much what is happening in the mental space of Divine Feminine. I hope you can hear, guys. It's raining, so lovely, but yes, it does make my reading a bit difficult here. I hope you can hear me clearly. Divine Feminine in a mental space are being pulled in 2 different directions, I feel, with this Chariot card. She's being pulled between a physical decision, making a physical decision, and making a spiritual decision with the Chariot. Obviously, you are on a spiritual journey and a spiritual mission. That's why you are twin flame. But yes, there's something that is pulling Divine Feminine into 2 different directions in a mental space. This is what I feel. And currently I feel like she's unsure whether she is steering that decision, or whether the divine are pulling her towards making that decision. So yes, that is the crossroad that I feel. But with the Chariot, it's about movement. Something needs to move. Divine Feminine wants something. She's thinking about moving something forward, but feeling unsure about whether she's being pulled towards that, making that decision, or is she steering the energies towards making that decision for some reason. All right, but let's take a look at the next card that came out for a mental space. And the Temperance came out in a mental space. Now, Temperance, we know, is about balance. It's about being in control being in control of things that could influence your life. But I like this Temperance card in this specific deck because it points out a very different aspect, which is also obviously a twin flame card with a yin and yang symbol there, which is about balance between the divine masculine and the feminine. But let me explain the energies here. If you look at the card over there, there's a sun, and there is wine dripping from the sun into a glass filled with ice. This woman has got a foot dipped in the icy water over there, and the rest of the body is resting on the land over there. Now this symbolizes, the sun symbolizes our unconscious, our soul, and the ice over here symbolizes the physical and our conscious mind. And as you can see, one is fire, one is ice. Now if you think about what would happen if the heat from the sun that is dripping that wine into the glass of ice that resembles the physical, what will happen to the content in that glass? The content of the glass is going to change. You're not going to have fire and ice in one glass that is separate from one another. The ice are actually going to smelt from the heat, and obviously the heat of the sun over there are going to cool down a little bit. So you will have a watery kind of energy in there. It's not going to be cold and it's not going to be hot. Now, and this is the unconscious and that is the conscious. This is the soul. This is the physical. Now, this specific image in this card speaks about a new consciousness that are formed within divine feminine, that is forming a bridge between the physical and the spiritual, which allows you a better perspective on the physical, but it also allows you a better perspective on your spiritual. So whatever was lying in the unconscious are coming through to the consciousness, and you've got a better perspective of both. There's a bridge. A bridge has been formed between the physical and the spiritual here that allows you. You see, she's got red wings over there, which allows her to fly high above the earth, to look down on it and actually have a good perspective. But she's also got a foot dipped here in the water, which grounds her and allows her to look up to the sky and see it clearly. So this is a very big transformation within divine feminine that has happened, that has given her, that is breaching the gap between the physical and the spiritual, bridging the gap between the unconscious and the conscious mind. This card also speaks about getting to a point within yourself where you can get up and move forward from a loss. Now that loss could be anything. That could be a death of a person that you've gone through, but it could also be the loss of this connection or the loss of anything in your life that has really got you down for a while, but it also allowed a lot of growth spiritually, and that is where that mixing of those two realms are coming in. That specific death were the bridge between the unconscious and the conscious mind, between the physical and the spiritual world, that is now allowing a better perspective of both those realms. So you are at a point of moving forward, releasing that whatever loss you had, and moving forward with a new perspective and a new vision. Okay, so there's a lot, there's so much, guys. I must be honest with you, the energies for Divine Feminine is really deep. It's really deep at the moment. We have just gone through that, the Mars, the lunar occultation, that aligned the mind, emotions, and the psyche, obviously, which brought us, they dropped that veil between the mind and the spirit realms for us as Divine Feminines, for everybody, but yeah, I think we as Divine Feminines, that is the mystic and the psychic, we're really impacted by it. And with this retrograde, the Mercury retrograde as well, that's give us the opportunity to grow. But I feel a lot of growth within Divine Feminine's consciousness and perspective on her journey towards a Divine Masculine. She has bridged the gap between the physical and the spiritual, and can see both equally right now. So I feel like she's standing 1 foot in the physical, 1 foot in the spiritual, and she can clearly see both aspects of this connection, the connection in the physical, but also the connection in the spiritual. And this is bringing Divine Feminine to a crossroad. This very, very new consciousness that Divine Feminine has got is bringing her to a crossroad. But let's see what that crossroad is for Divine Feminine. Okay. The crossroad is, one, the Divine Masculine and the spiritual journey with him. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner that you seek. Divine Feminine is very well aware of who her twin flame is, that is the one and only person for her, that there is a spiritual journey together, and this is obviously what she's been working towards for the longest time. And this is also what allowed her this new perspective that made her grow, that made her suffer all these losses and go through all this healing, that has really opened up this new consciousness to her. But on the other side, she is still 1 foot in the physical. Divine Feminine is still 1 foot in the physical, and she does desire love. And currently she's obviously not in union with the Divine Masculine, and there might be others or one other person stirring her romantic feelings. It's a new person. This is not, I don't feel any spiritual connection here, but there is someone offering love and stirring romantic feelings, or trying to stir romantic feelings with Divine Feminine, which will be just a physical relationship. And she's taking a look from both realms, the physical and the spiritual, in regards to this. She desires, she's thinking about a spiritual connection with the Divine Masculine in great perspective, and she's taking a look at a new love offer that came in. And this is the crossroad the Divine Feminine is facing, and actually moving forward, letting go with this Chariot, and both the Chariot and the Temperance, letting go of the spiritual connection because it's not ready to actually enjoy romance with someone else in the physical. This is definitely something that Divine Feminine is facing or thinking about. This is a mental space. She is really thinking about this. Letting go of your Divine Masculine And coming into union with your divine masculine is not letting go of your connection at all, but allowing it to grow. But divine feminine is very much in contemplation and at a crossroad of whether or not she should just hold on to a connection with the divine masculine and keep staying in isolation. And I'm going to tell you now why I say isolation with the next cards that's coming out, or actually go move forward and go enjoy love somewhere else, with someone else during this time that she is waiting for this connection to evolve. The heart space of divine feminine was the Nine of Coins. Now, the Nine of Coins is about being single. It's about working hard in the physical, achieving wealth and abundance, creating a stable life for yourself. It's a very wise woman, but she's a workaholic. She's very isolated. She chooses domesticity over social life. She doesn't have a lot of friends. She isolates herself completely. The Nine of Pentacles. This woman isolates herself completely, and the reason why she isolates herself is because of her goal. And obviously, for us as twins, our goal is our physical union with the divine masculine, forever feeling depressed and sad and longing for that connection and that person to be with you. And it puts you in a state of isolating yourself from love somewhere else. It's isolating you from a social life. It's isolating you from a lot of things, going out with friends, having drinks because you are spiritual and you treat your body well. It's isolating you, and this is a voluntary isolation for divine feminine, something she chooses because of her spiritual journey. But this is weighing very heavily upon her heart right now, this isolation, this forever waiting, forever putting in the work into this connection, and life is ticking by. She's not having any love. She's not enjoying friends. She's not having a social life. She's forever working to improve herself, to improve this connection, but very much alone. And she's sad. And she wants to make a good decision. She wants to make a wise decision with the owl over there. In regards to this, she wants, let's see what she wants in her heart. She wants to stay optimistic about her love life with the divine masculine. She's trying to stay positive, use positive thinking. She's having faith that this romance will come when it's time and when it's ready. She is using the law of attraction through affirmations, or some other methods to lift up your thoughts and energy and to attract what you desire. Use positive affirmations. And with the moon over there, I feel some are using moon energies, maybe doing some rituals and spells. But even on this card, you can see she's sitting out there alone on the moon, in the dark, staring out into the galaxy. And no one to join her there. So there's a lot of sadness coming from divine feminine, through having put herself into this state of isolation from everything. And you can see on all three of these cards, this woman is alone. This woman is alone at that wedding. This woman is alone, sitting on the moon, staring out in the galaxy. So there's a very big loneliness in divine feminine's heart, longing for her divine counterpart, her divine masculine, longing for love, longing to share her life with someone, to share her wisdom with someone, to share something with someone. This is very, very deeply coming through in Divine Feminine's heart. And this is why she's facing this crossroad between having to make a decision based on keep herself in isolation and these feelings of being alone, while she's waiting for growth with the Divine Masculine and the union to come, or whether she should allow someone else to love her and give her love to someone else. But let's take a look at what's happening in her desires. Now the Four of Wands come out, and the Four of Wands in the other tarot decks is about marriage, it's a celebration, it's our twin flame union. This card has got a bit of a different twist to it, but it does clearly show two people. It's both women there. The one stares straight at you. The other one is hiding behind the sunglasses, wearing a mask, feeling safe behind a mask. That clearly points out the twins to me. The one that faces everything, which is our Divine Feminine, confident and face everything, and then our Divine Masculine, feeling safe behind a mask. But both these, you can see these are teenagers, and there's a home at the back there with an open door. These are both teenagers coming out of that home for the first time, feeling very vulnerable to face the world. And one actually displays confidence, looking at it straight, and one obviously hiding behind a glass. Now, the vulnerability of these teenagers could pull them back into the safety of that home at any minute. They might be coming out, take a peek at the world outside, and run back into safety because they feel vulnerable, and they kind of have to get used to of what the outside world feels like, and the challenges that is out there. Maybe trying on some different masks to feel comfortable with, and this person might only be able to look confident and look things straight in the eye for a couple of minutes, and then have to run back into that safety and into that hiding, that safety of that home. And this is very much what I feel with Divine Feminine right now, is that vulnerability. She's been in that safety and comfort of her isolation from the world and other people to love for quite some time on her journey. And she's feeling like this teenager's over here, not sure whether she should come out confidently and make herself available for love, if she should come out and just wear a mask to see what's out there first. Feeling she wants to come out and take a peek, but feeling very vulnerable, and scared of actually coming out of that comfort of that isolation she's been in for the longest time. Divine Feminine is fearing to actually step out into the world. I really feel she feels scared to step out into this world, this physical world, and say, here I am, and I'm ready for love. If there's anybody else but my Divine Masculine to love me. And I feel a lot of heavy energies with that. And yes, for the next card, they came out with that. Oh, I'm sticking to my card. Sorry, Divine Feminine. Is the children card. And the children card, there might be children involved somewhere here. But what I feel for Divine Feminine with the children card is that innocence and beauty and purity of the child, the loyalty of children, and the dog over there. Divine Feminine wants to be pure. She wants to be innocent. She wants to be loyal towards a Divine Masculine. But if you think about children, besides from having those characteristics, They are scared of the unknown things. They are scared of the dark, and facing that adult life. That big world out there is scary to children, and this is where Divine Feminine, I very deeply feel it. She wants to be innocent and pure and loyal to her journey, but she also wants to go and explore like a child, but she's scared. She's scared to face some things out there. She's scared to go and face the world. She got used to her isolation and used to only working on this divine connection. All right, so that's what I feel with that children card. And there's a lot of sad emotions coming through for both divine masculine and divine feminine for this week's readings. So I'm sorry if I'm a bit over emotional here, guys and girls. And the last card for the divine feminine, and I'm going to close here, is the love life. And this card says the basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now ascending to, which is now changing for the better. And what I feel is this: the divine feminine does deeply desire to be loved and have a good love life and experience love from someone, not just in the spiritual sense of it, but in that physical sense, having that physical touch, that experiencing someone with physical senses. That is a really deep desire coming through for divine feminine, and she wants someone to stir romantic feelings. She wants to experience that again, want to feel that again, coming from someone. But yeah, scared, really scared to take that step. Really, she's thinking about it, but really scared to take that step with this children card. And I kind of feel she feels a bit guilty too, wanting that and thinking about that. But this is where I'm going to close Divine Feminine. I feel very emotional. We will take a deeper look into this in the extended, and if you want me to take a deeper look into your personal situation, your actions, or if you need some guidance from Source in regards to what you're going through right now, please let me know. I've got different services that I can help you with, and so check the description box below, and please hit the like, share and subscribe for me, and I will see you in the next video. Namaste.